Well, hey friends, beautiful out here. Check out this nice river I'm sitting next to. Beautiful Arizona. You'll see some of the area that I've been through on the TW motorcycle this morning, TW 200. But before we do that, I want to share with you my top 10 pros and cons about metal detecting and buying a metal detector. So we'll jump right in. I've got them here on my phone. And I actually wasn't able to list 10 for each. I got 7 cons and 9 pros. So we'll start with the cons first. The learning curve. Well, the learning curve for a detector can be pretty steep, especially if you've never prospected before, because then you have to learn 2 things at once. You have to learn how to use the metal detector, and you have to learn how to prospect. So you can have dual learning curves. And some of these machines are overly complicated, and they end up having so many settings. I can't remember, some guy estimated one time, and I kind of agreed with him, that like the GPX 5000 had like 3,000 different settings. Well, you'll never really accurately understand all of those settings or all the finite possibilities of each one. So it's almost silly to have a machine with that many settings. Now, a variety of settings can be good, but too many settings just gets confusing. Good morning. How are you? Any deer? I don't know. I'm just kind of out here riding and filming. But wish you luck, man. I know there's some big ones out here. Yeah, good luck, man. You too. Fellow hunter. I'm not hunting though. He's out hunting deer, it looks like. So the learning curve, back to the learning curve. It can be pretty steep for people. And again, it's something that's different for everybody. Some people pick it right up, some people don't. It really depends on you. The second one is if you haven't bought a metal detector before, there's almost too much information out there and not enough facts. You go and you look up these different metal detecting, models, and you go to forums and YouTube and stuff. And there's millions of opinions out there. As many prospectors as there are, that's how many opinions there are. And being a guy who's owned everything from the Tesoro Lobo, the White's GMT, the Fisher Gold Bug, the Gold Monster, the GPZ 7000, I can just go on and on, almost every MineLab PI, I can tell you not every machine is going to work for everybody. And the opinions are kind of good. There's a lot of really knowledgeable guys out there, and I like to consider myself a knowledgeable guy trying to share quality information. There's a lot of other people too, and they share great info about what works for them, what doesn't, and what's really important is why. And I've been solely using the Gold Monster for quite a while. It's just a fun machine, and we'll get to some of the why behind that as we keep going. But yeah, it can be an overly opinionated thing when you're researching. Should I buy a VLF? Should I buy a PI? Should I buy a MineLab? Should I buy a Fisher? Should I buy this, that, or whatever? Garrett. I know Fisher sold out, but it doesn't really matter. So you can really get into this crazy minutia over it. Where the truth of the matter is, buy something simple, try it out. If you don't like it, sell it, buy something else. You don't have to get crazy with it. The mental requirements. Now you may think, well, mental requirements, all I have to do is read the manual. Well, probably true to a great degree, but also a lot of people can't handle the frustration that comes with not finding stuff and just finding trash day after day, week after week, month after month. It wears on them mentally, and they just forget that they're out to have a good time. So if you can keep yourself in that mindset that, hey, I'm just out, I'm having a good time, if I find gold, it's a bonus, you're going to do a lot better. The weight can be a real issue, and your shoulder will eventually start hurting from it. Now you can use bungees to support it, and there's all kinds of things, but it can become an issue even with a bungee. When I first got my GPZ 7000, it is the heaviest detector I have ever used. The thing is just crazy heavy, and I used it for about a week straight without a bungee. And like it was the 5th or 6th day, I went to swing a gold bug, and I couldn't even swing a light gold bug. That's just how heavy, and it was just nasty. So the weight can definitely get to you over time. So you have to keep that in consideration if you have a shoulder injury or something. And that goes to our next one. Actually, weight was 4, so we have learning curve, too much info. Number 3, mental requirements. 4 is weight. 5, repetitive motion injury. So you're going back and forth, you're detecting, you're looking down all the time. It weighs on your neck, it weighs on your shoulder, a lot of these different muscles and stuff. It can get you. It's like anything else that you do over and over again. It can definitely cause you some pain and some long-term injury. The time investment. So you have to invest time to learn how to detect, to learn the language the detector speaks. And this is number 6. So you have to invest time. And it can take a long time. It takes a lot longer than just learning how to pan gold or to dry wash. Detecting takes longer for most people. There are some people who just pick up a detector and go. I was lucky in how my journey started. I'd been prospecting for a long, long time before I picked up a metal detector. And I'd use a detector here and there before I got really serious with it around 2000. And I'd been prospecting since the mid-1980s, so I already had places to go to find gold. Like, yeah, I found nuggets here and there, dry washing and dredging. I'll just take my detector back there. So I learned really, really fast. Not everybody does. Everybody's different. Not everyone has that benefit. So number 8 was time investment. And we talked about this earlier. Too many choices. There's so many choices and people get confused. They end up consuming too much information. And that can be just as bad as consuming not enough. So narrow it down. Remember, no matter what you pick, if it was me and I had to buy a BLF, I would go with the Fisher Gold Bug, 2, or I would go with a Gold Monster. If I had to go with a PI, I would probably try out the new MineLab 6000, or I would do something like an SDC, which I know is a slightly different technology, but it's still a PI. Or one of the older ones, find an old used SD, and buy this stuff used. You don't have to pay the new price. But narrow your choices. That's what I would do. If you don't like it, sell it. There's always someone to buy it. Now let's talk about the pros. Fun and adventure. Hey, if you like having fun, metal detecting can be awesome, especially for nuggets. You get out, you're in nature, you're out here in this kind of stuff, and you're just having a good time. That's what you have to focus on. It's a fun adventure. It's, as the song says, it's not the kill, it's the thrill of the chase, right? It's great to find a nugget. After you find your first nugget, all the rest of them come easier. But just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the fun of it. It's great. So that's number 1. That's the number 1 pro. Number 2 pro is the learning curve. Now, I said it was a con too, right? But at the same time, if you enjoy learning, you're going to love the learning curve with the detector. There's always something new to learn. So it can be a pro or a con, depending on who you are. Number 3, sense of accomplishment. Not everyone gets a sense of accomplishment from finding their first nugget necessarily, because they don't ever do it, they give up. But for those that do, you just have a sense of accomplishment. Something changes and you just start finding more. My wife and I first got together. I took her detecting and dry washing and prospecting, and she was worried that we were still getting to know each other, that I'd be one of these guys going, I've got to find gold, I've got to find gold. And I'm like, baby, I found so much gold in my life. If I get skunked, I don't find gold, I'm cool. I don't lose my cool. But sense of accomplishment, when I watched her, when I watched my daughter find their first nuggets, I saw that sense of accomplishment. And I've helped many, many people find their first nugget. I could name names, some really famous YouTubers and other people, but I'm not going to get into that because it doesn't matter. Time in nature, again, if you like being out, fun and adventure, time in nature, detecting gets you out even more. So the more time in nature, the better life is. It's not hard. Community. You can actually meet a great group of people online through forums and YouTube and different stuff like that. I've made some amazing friends through meetups and forums and just all kinds of stuff. So it has a really strong, supportive community that can kind of be overwhelming with information, but at the same time, it is there for you, and people can give you a lot of good tips and tricks. So big bonus. Isolation. In this digital age, in this busy age where we're constantly just overloaded visually with stimulus and this and that coming at us, it's nice just to put your headphones on and kind of isolate, right? And kind of chill out and do your own thing finding gold, whatever it is. Or even if you just use your speaker on your detector, you're kind of isolated, just doing your own thing. It's really hard to be a successful detectorist and concentrate on something else. So isolation is actually a pro, and that's number 6. So we'll do the pros real quick. We're getting up there. Number 1, fun and adventure. 2, learning curve. 3, sense of accomplishment. 4, time in nature. 5, community. 6, isolation. 7, motion requirements. Now we talked about repetitive stress injury, but when you're detecting for nuggets, you're getting up, you're getting down, you're digging holes, you're hiking, you're doing a lot of different things, you're working your body, and that's important. It's important to get exercise. So motion requirements, it's not a passive thing. Some people sit and drink beer and just throw dirt in the dry washer. Well, you're not going to really be much of a detectorist just sitting there drinking beer. You're going to have to actually get involved if you want to be successful. That was number 7, motion requirements. Number 8, easy to store and transport. I mean, the transportation of a metal detector is easy. You can throw it in your backpack. You can carry it in your hand. You can throw it in your quad bag. You can put it in your truck. They can be heavy, but generally, even like the SDC, it just folds down to a small compact package. The Gold Monster, you unscrew it real quick and it's good to go. So there's a lot of portability benefits. A lot of them now fold up. They're telescopic. Even if they don't, you just unscrew the shaft. So that's a big one, number 8. And number 9, low maintenance cost. Unless you break the darn thing and it's out of warranty and you got to pay someone to try to do some mod to fix it or something, low maintenance cost. There really isn't much maintenance to it. It's not like a dredge or a dry washer where you have to buy gas or a solar panel or something else. You just use a detector. Maybe you have to buy batteries once every few years if you lose one or it wears out, but it's a low maintenance cost. You can run your skid plate down, sure, but it takes time. So it's great. And we'll go over these again. Again, the cons: learning curve, too much info, not enough facts. 3, mental requirements. 4, weight. 5, repetitive motion injury. 6, time investment. 7, too many choices. That was actually the cons. So cons, I'll do it one more time. Cons: number 1, learning curve. 2, too much info, not enough facts. Number 3, the third con, mental requirements if you're not ready for it. The 4th is weight. 5th is repetitive motion injury. The 6th is time investment. The 7th is too many choices. Those are our 7 cons. I couldn't come up with 10. And the pros, I could only do 9 on. I couldn't get 10. So share your thoughts. I don't know. I didn't have enough coffee when I wrote these down. So that's just the way it goes. Pros: number 1, fun adventure. Number 2, the learning curve. So that can be a pro or con, depending on who you are. Number 3, the sense of accomplishment. That's a pro. Number 4, time in nature. 5, cool community to deal with. 6, isolation. Kind of brings you in back to yourself, gets you out of this digital overload. Number 7, pro, motion requirements. Let's move that body, let's exercise. Number 8, easy to store and transport. And number 9, pro, low maintenance costs. There ain't much to it. So hopefully you can add a little bit to it, add some your perspectives in the comments below, add your thoughts, and that'll be awesome. I know I could have thought of more. So, I mean, you should see all these caterpillars here. It's pretty crazy. I'll show them to you. Check them out. Caterpillars everywhere. There's some over here, and over here, and there. These caterpillars are everywhere. I don't know what kind of caterpillars they are, but they're caterpillars. I'm not a caterpillar expert. I'm an expert in many things, but I'm not a caterpillar expert. So, beautiful, gorgeous river running here. T-dub. I'm going to show you some of the area I've been through. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. I'm up near Kirkland, Wagoneer area. As you saw, there was a deer hunter that came by. And as I came in off 89, you know, from Wickenburg up to Prescott, and I passed by the Zonia Mine Road. And if you're not familiar with that, that's a really cool area too, because you go back by the Zonia Mine. That's a famous copper oxide mine. You go back by Ridge Hill. You can go all the way down to the Hassayampa there too. You know, I cross the Hassayampa here, and this place is just famous for gold. Placerita's back that way by the Zonia Mine. And then this road where I'm on, I can go to Prescott from here, up Crooks. I can go to Crown King. I can go all kinds of places. So this is just a really famous area, really well known for gold. And it's one of those places that's kind of off the beaten path. But there's a lot of private, huge ranches back in here. And sometimes they do grant permission for people to hunt on their land. And that's up for you to work out and investigate, but cool stuff. So I'm going to show you some of the area I rode through. It's just gorgeous. You're going to love it. There's this great historic one-lane bridge, man. I'm excited. I'm having fun. I probably had too much coffee at this point. When I made my list, I didn't have enough, but now I probably had too much. So let's go do it. There's a big dead rattlesnake right there. Now along this road, so that far this morning, I've seen about half a dozen rattlesnakes and a bull snake. This guy's dead. He probably got hit by a ATV or a truck or something, and there he is. You can tell he got splatted pretty good in the middle. And there were a couple birds flying by and checking him out. The little dog just ran up and looked at him, so I figured I'd film him and show him to you. I'm not out to bug snakes, and snakes aren't out to bug me, so I haven't been filming any of them that I've been seeing on the road. And when you're riding by them, they kind of look like sticks until you get up close to them, and you can see if they have the black and white tail. But here we go. Here's a nice diamondback, and I'll get the camera up here so you can see him. He's dead, so he ain't gonna bite anybody. That's just nature right there. So beautiful. These things happen. Things get killed. Other things eat them. This is the cycle of life. There's ants going after them. There's some birds. They'll come back. Maybe the puppy dog will have a little bit of them. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to that old snake? But he won't go to waste. So I just thought I'd show you that real quick as I'm riding. Man, it is so pretty out here. Absolutely gorgeous. And the reason there's so many snakes here, we're right next to the Hassayampa River. And you can see, you know, the kind of vegetation that we're in. I don't have my snake chaps with me, but I would definitely want them if I went hiking out through all this brush, if that was on my mind, which I'm not doing. If I was, I definitely want some snake chaps, because snake gators or something, because they're out here in force. The odd thing is, they've all been heading north across the road. And I was like, huh, I wonder if that means something. All the snakes are heading north. Must be something that way. Snake country, baby.